Hey guys, welcome back to Valareso Capital. On today's video, we're gonna go through the weekly watch list and also we're gonna take a look at the market update. In the last video that I did on the channel, I actually went through the hourly chart. However, talking with some of my friends on Twitter and some of the people that I usually talk a lot about the markets and everything, they actually told me that a lot of people were confused about the hourly charts, at least for the time being. So on today's video, we're gonna go through the daily charts. We are gonna do our best to try to incorporate the hourly chart in the market updates as well as we talk on the last video, and I will make sure to go through the entire series of the videos that I told you guys that I was gonna make here on the channel. If you haven't seen any of those videos, I made one on the 8 exponential moving average and one on the 21 exponential. You can find those links on the description. And in this week, I'm gonna make one on the 30 daily moving average or the 200 hourly, which are basically the same moving averages. So I'm gonna make those videos. Make sure to like and subscribe so that you are aware of the upcoming videos for the channel, and also set up the bell icon so that you can know and be notified exactly when the videos come out so that you can be updated. So now let's just jump directly into the charts. We're gonna go, so what you can expect from this video, we're gonna go through some very important charts such as the SPY, and then we're gonna go through some of the mega caps, something that we don't usually go into the channel, but I think that the price action in some of the mega caps is actually pretty interesting, and I also consider some of those mega caps actually some really good trading vehicles if you want to trade the markets. So let's just start with the video here. Right now, let me just set up and grab my drawing tools. So let's take a look at the SPY. As you guys know, the SPY for me is the most important chart in the entire market. The reason being is that we have a statistic that says that somewhere around 80% of the stocks just move with the general market, and I actually think it's a higher number than that. So what exactly does mean? That means that if the SPY is at support, most likely the stock that you're trading is also at support. And if the SPY is at resistance, most likely the stock that you're trading is also at resistance. So when we get these buy signals that I have on the SPY, as you can see that I have the line right here, which is a buy signal in the SPY, that usually gives the system that I have a green light to basically trade any setup that I find to the bullish side. Why? Because the SPY is now changing the structure, right? You can see right here that we have the advanced phase, then we have the distribution phase, something that I'm going to talk in the upcoming video. You can see here once again the accumulation phase, then you can see the advanced phase, then you can see the distribution phase, and then you can see the decline. Now we are starting to see the accumulation phase once again. What is the expectation for the accumulation phase? The expectation for the accumulation phase is a lot of chop. This chop can last for a couple of days to a couple of weeks. Usually it tends to last for about 10 trading days when we have these cycles of a bull market that we're seeing right now. So my expectation is that we're probably gonna see a little bit more chop this week, especially since we have the very important information that Powell is going to give us on Tuesday and also on Wednesday. So remember that we have those events on Tuesday and Wednesday. We can see more volatility, but I think that the bias going into next week is going to be bullish overall. So now that we understand that the bias is bullish, what are going to be the levels in the SPY? Because one of the purpose of the channel is to share the most important levels. So the most important levels, first of all, is going to be this level right here, which is somewhere around 405 in the SPY. That's going to be the resistance level that we are going to be watching coming into next week. You can see right here that on Friday we have an amazing rally for the bulls, but you can see right here that we're coming right into resistance at that 404 level, and I think that we can extend that level to 405. I think that's going to be the resistance level, so I don't want to do any buying at these levels. Where is the support that I'm gonna be willing to buy? So that support is gonna come right here at 400. I think 400 is actually a very important level, and as you can see right here, you can see the wick on the daily candle of Friday, you can see that that's exactly what buyers actually showed up. So I think that if we happen to see some pullback into this 400 level, that's going to be a really nice opportunity to start building some bullish exposure in the SPY, and of course in some of the setups that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So once again, support at 400, resistance at 405, and we have a bullish bias going into next week. So that's gonna be basically the analysis that we're gonna do in the SPY. And now let's jump into the setups. So what are gonna be the setups that I'm gonna be watching for next week? So the first one is gonna be MBDA. And you know, guys, that I tend to mostly trade the leverage ETFs for the indexes, and also some of the ETFs and some of the sector ETFs of the market. But it's been a while since I see so many amazing setups in some of the mega caps, and the mega caps are really amazing trading instruments because they provide some really liquid action and also some really nice moves that tend to correlate very good with the market. So now that we have that correlation, now that we have also that liquid patterns, and also we have that mega cap structure, these tend to be really safe names to trade. So let's start here with the first one, and that's gonna be MBDA. So MBDA right here is looking pretty bullish. It's looking actually amazing. If you are a student of the squeeze, you can see that we have a squeeze. I don't yet have a buy signal, and if you're asking where do I get these sell signals or buy signals, I get those from the trend oscillator. I used to have, if you have been following my channel for a while, I used to have the trend oscillator right here below the chart. However, there's so many information in the trend oscillator that I prefer to have it on a separate screen, because we tend to see some really nice structured patterns in the trend oscillator. That's something that I'm going to be covering on the channel. That way you can understand exactly what is that I'm looking for in that indicator. So back to the charts and back to the price action here in MBDA. You can see right here that we are starting to form some really nice action, kind of a cup, right? You can see right here the cup that we are starting to form in MBDA. You can see that we actually have earnings, and we have a really nice gap to the upside, right? Pretty nice gap to the upside in MBDA. And what I want to see right now is probably a little bit more consolidation below that 240 level. If we happen to see a little bit of a pullback in the SPY, then I'm going to be expecting to see a little bit of pullback also in MBDA. The levels that I'm going to be watching is going to be this level right here, which is somewhere around 235, 230. So that's going to be the level that I'm going to be watching for the MBDA, which is going to be somewhere around this 8 exponential moving average. If we happen to see some pullback right into these levels right here, I think that's going to be a really amazing opportunity to buy. And then the targets that I'm going to be watching, the first one is going to be somewhere around 250, and then perhaps we're also going to come and close this gap somewhere around 260. So I think that's some really nice price action that we're starting to see in this name. Now let's jump into the next one, and that's going to be Tesla. And what is really interesting about Tesla, and this is something that I tweeted on my Twitter account, is that Tesla started to form this kind of toppy pattern. You can see that we have kind of this inverse cup, and basically what an inverse cup is just a head and shoulders pattern. That's basically what an inverse cup is basically just a head and shoulders topping pattern. So the expectation is that if we tend to see some pause in the SPY, I would like to see Tesla continue to build somewhere around this 197 level. And most importantly, I want to see Tesla hold this level right here, this low right here. This low comes somewhere around 105, 106. So I'm going to be looking for some kind of support at those levels in Tesla. If we happen to see some support here, and if we happen to see some consolidation, then the expectation for Tesla is perhaps to see a little bit of chop, right, somewhere around these levels, and then perhaps we're going to see a really nice continuation somewhere around 225. And of course, if you're a student of the squeeze, we also have a squeeze, and it's starting to look pretty nicely. So that's going to be it for Tesla. And then the next one that I want to show you is going to be IWM, and then I want to also show you the setup that we have on ARC. So if we go to IWM, you can also see that we have a squeeze, which is starting to look pretty nicely. We have a squeeze that is starting to look pretty good, and what is most importantly is that you can see that we printed a higher low in the price. You can see that this 50 daily moving average continues to rise, and you can see that IWM also reclaimed the moving averages, which is pretty important. However, you can see that right now we're running right into resistance. We're running right into that 0618 Fibonacci level, measured from this high right here all the way to this low right here. So I think that we're probably going to see a little bit of resistance. If we happen to continue to move forward, probably we're going to see resistance at 193, which is going to be the close of this gap that we have open. If we happen to see a little bit of a pullback, somewhere around these lows right here, that's going to be the level that I'm going to be watching to build my bullish exposure. And then of course, I'm expecting actually to see some really nice strength this month of March. So I don't see why not IWM can come and retest these levels, probably even run a little bit higher to 200. So this one is looking pretty nice. And I really like the consolidation that we're starting to see right here in these levels. So that one is looking pretty amazing. And then finally, I think that if we happen to see some more of a short squeeze in the market, then ARK is something that I really want to be watching. I think that ARK looks pretty nice. You can see that we also have that squeeze, that pattern. You can see that we have some rising momentum, which is actually pretty bullish, looking pretty nicely. You can see right here that we have the shakeout, pretty nice engulfing candle here. And also we saw that continuation on Friday, which was really important. And now what are the levels that I'm going to be watching? The level in ARK, somewhere around this level right here, which is somewhere around 41. I think that's gonna be a really important level of resistance. And then of course I want to see ARK to continue to hold this 39 level. If we happen to see that hold, I think that we're probably gonna see some really nice consolidation. And if we happen to move above this trend line, I don't see why not we can see a squeeze all the way back to close this gap at 45.68. So that one is looking pretty nice. And some other setups that I think that look pretty nice. I haven't done much of a technical analysis there, but I think Uber, if you happen to like these names, Uber is looking pretty nicely. And also, besides Uber, the other name that I was watching, just give me 1 second, it was Uber, and the other name was AMD. AMD is looking pretty nicely, and sorry, the name is AVMB. So Airbnb is also looking pretty nicely. You can see right here that AVMB is coming right into that 21 exponential moving average. We don't have a squeeze, but the momentum is above zero, which is something pretty bullish. And if we happen to see some continuation in AVMB, probably a breakout from these levels, and I don't see why not a test of the fire line right here, taking out this high right here. So those are just of a couple bonus names that I want to share. A lot of people are watching those setups, but I think are really nice setups. If I have to choose only one setup for next week, I think I will go with Tesla. As long as Tesla continues to hold this level, which is basically the 30 daily moving average, I think that Tesla is one of the strongest names that we have. You can see that this one basically just went sideways while the entire market corrected. So I think this one is looking pretty nice. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and also follow me on my Twitter account at Valareso Capital. Thank you so much, and I will see you at future videos. Bye bye.